Oh, would you look at the time? New Inside the Mind of Greg Heffley. At this point, do I really need an intro for the series? Nope. Let's dive in. Today, we're going to be exploring the 8th entry in the Wimpy Kid series with the title Hard Luck. The cover reveals Greg Heffley clearly not having the best time of his life. It's usual for these to put him in some pretty horrible situations, which of course reflects the actual events within the book. What's the deal with these 8 balls though? Turns out Greg is on a pretty bad losing streak right now, and this entry explores his descent into madness. The beginning is a direct continuation of the third wheel, so if you're not caught up, you need to know one thing. Rowley is no longer considered a friend. Uh-oh! Thanks to the Valentine's dance, he and Abigail became a couple, and now Greg's pretty much left in the dark without anyone else. It's time to take a look at how all that plays out in Hard Luck. I always thought I'd be the one in a relationship, and Rowley would be the guy everyone kind of felt sorry for. In the picture, Greg is living the life with a full family, a beautiful wife, and hope for the future. Meanwhile, his former best friend is bald, seemingly has no one, and is just jealous at the true American dream. Obviously, something like this is just a fantasy, but it gives you a good idea of how Greg thinks of himself. Despite his actual circumstances, he will always look in the mirror and see himself as high and mighty. Diary of a Wimpy Kid books are known for the relationship between these two, and how they really aren't friends, more of one being a slave to the other. While reminiscing about their old times together, Greg talks about how he used Rowley to his own advantage, scouting ahead for dog poop so that he himself doesn't have to step in it. Also, you'll notice an interesting parallel here. Rowley always carries Greg's school stuff because it's way too heavy for him to carry, but then the current situation is the exact same with Abigail. Unfortunately, Rowley is just as willing to help Abigail with her books, which makes me think the only reason she's even with him is to use him, and as Rowley's good friend, I find that a little hard to take. Obviously, this is ironic. I mean, Greg has used his best friend ever since they met, but he just can't understand that. He doesn't realize how badly he treats everyone, and instead points the finger at Abigail, even though she's literally doing the same thing as him. At one point, Greg decides to form someone else into the exact same kind of friend he wanted, just like Rowley. As we know from his previous books, he doesn't see people as people, and instead they're just tools to use for his own benefit. That's why he comes across Fragley, and tries recreating Rowley from the ground up. You'll notice that throughout all this, it's rare to see Greg and Fragley do things that friends legitimately do, like talk about their interests or go hang out somewhere. Instead, it's just the usual scouting for dog poop and carrying bags. Classic manipulation right here. Because of his loneliness at school, we get to see some drama in the Heffley household. More specifically, he talks about his experiences with family members, and how they're all on bad terms because of a diamond left behind from a relative who died. This diamond was lost, but worth a ton of money, so it got everyone fighting. We'll come back to this shortly. One of the biggest storylines of Hard Luck centers around this magic 8-ball, which the Wimpy Kid uses to make decisions about what to do in everyday life. There's not much I can say here, but when the magic 8-ball stops working, it's important to mention what he does. He ends up tossing it over Grandma's fence on the way home from school. Yeah, it's relatively harmless, but I think it reveals a bit more about Greg's personality in general. Whenever he comes across failure in any way, he just won't care about the consequences, and sometimes passes it on to others. He literally could have just thrown the 8-ball in the trash, but nope, Grandma's backyard it is, cause he just doesn't care. Everything wraps up pretty nicely in the final few pages. Greg returned to the backyard to see if he could get the ball working again. Remember that priceless diamond left after the relative died? Well, turns out it's now in Greg's possession. He realizes it would make everyone fight if it was publicly revealed, so he hides it in his mom's closet for the time being, while still ready to sell it at some point in the future. Keep in mind, this ring was in the family for several generations, so it probably wasn't meant to be sold. Then again, this is Greg Heffley we're talking about, and you barely have to know him to realize he'd get rid of it in a heartbeat. As for things with our two heroes, their friendship returns to normal. Abigail breaks up with Rowley, and it's a nice, happy ending for Greg. But will he ever become a better person? We're just gonna have to wait and see. But anyway, that's all for this video. Subscribe for more awesome cartoon videos. Give a thumbs up and comment below, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.